Hey up, Cock. We're going to update our EFL predictions post-transfer window for League 2, League 1 and Championship. Now, some people might think this is cheating to change your predictions after transfer window's done. And I say, get a grip. These were my League 2 predictions about a week before the season started. So I tried to leave it as long as possible to try and see as many transfers as possible up until that time. And this is what I landed on. Now, for someone who doesn't actually watch any League 2 ever, apart from very rarely a good game if it's on, I think I've done it all right here. There's not a million that I would change, but there are some that are glaringly different now. Like straight away, I would not change my bottom two. I know I think it's getting relegated. I'm going to try and not take league table currently into account and who's had a fast start, because we are only 6 games in for League 1 and 2. So it's not that important anyway, but I'm going to try and make it solely transfer related on my opinion changing, which will prove difficult in some cases, but I will keep the bottom two the same. Like obviously Cheltenham are bottom at league at the moment at the time of me recording this, but they did keep Jordan Thomas, who is injured, and they've kept Ethan Archer up until January. They've sold him to Luton, I believe, but he is back on loan there. Now, if they would have lost these two players with the amount of media attention going around them, then I probably would have changed them and got them relegated. But because they've kept them both, I do still think that they will stay up. So I wouldn't change any of the bottom 5. Crew, however, I do think needs to change. They brought that either Tegzel or Tezgel. I can't remember off the top of my head. That's that young Stoke lad, young English striker. I think they did score 7 past Chesterfield midweek. And it were only in that stupid, like, Papa John's Checker Trade Virtue Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, whatever it's called, shit cup. But I still think Crew scored 7. I'm sure they did. I wouldn't put him in top 7, I don't think. And like I've said, I'm not someone who watches League 2. I would put him quite a bit further up. Like, I would put him as an outsider in and around here. But I don't think I would put him in top 7 just based on that alone. I do think they'll score a lot more goals. But I just think other teams were better, in my opinion, to start with anyway, and have done good business equally. So Crew I would change, but I'm not putting him in top 7 still. Bromley are another one. They've kept Michael Cheek, which there are a lot of League 1 teams sort of sniffing around him. I will put them up as well because they've kept him and they're scoring a lot of goals as well. But other than that, I would probably then just drop Tranmere and probably keep that as it is for now. We will like go further up and then drag them down as we go along. But for now, we'll go into mid-tables. Oldham I would keep, same as Notts County. If they'd have kept Jetta, I think I'd have honestly had them lower. But the fact that they lost McGoldrick earlier on at window, it's changed nothing for me. I still think they'll be in and around there. Swindon, I am definitely going to change. I do think Swindon are probably a playoff side looking at it now. It's brought in Ollie Palmer for a start. And as much as he is a big lump at championship level, I think at League 2 he could take the piss. Like, he scored 2 in Cup, didn't he, when he come on for Wrexham? And I think given the service and the type of player that he is, I think League 2 suits him definitely. I could see him scoring a lot of goals. Plus, they've got that centre-half from Wickham. They've brought somebody half decent in from Burton. I forgot his name. The transfer business has been quite good, Swindon, so I'll put him as a top 7 now, which means that we've got to swap one out, but we'll do it as we get to it. Fleetwood, and a lot of people were telling me that they thought they were top 7 outfit. I don't think the transfer business warrants that personally, so I would keep them there for now. Shrewsbury are one that I would put down in a survival scrap. They are on a downwards trend anyway. They finished bottom of League 1, and I thought maybe if they do get the odd little bit of quality in, as a side that were from League 1, and the crowds weren't the worst thing ever. Well, when I went, it weren't that bad anyway. I thought sure they'd do some half decent business towards back end, but there was very little to get excited about, and because of that, I do think they will be plummeting down table quite a bit. I do think they'll stay up though, still, which means that as for the rest of these, I would just drop Colchester down 1. I'll probably keep that as it is for now. I wouldn't change Salford. Gillingham have started really fast. They are top at league, but I still don't think I would put them in. Realistically, I've got to take a team out here. I don't think I would put Gillingham in, and if I did, it'll be like in 7th. But I don't think I will. I'll keep them there for now. As for this top 7, well, I need to get rid of one at teams. At Swindon, I've put in here. Walsall, I'm not changing. Grimsby, however, they're the only team that I've watched a full 90 of in League 2, and I thought they were a Premier League side when I were doing it. I am going to put them in the top 3 now. I had them in top 7 before, obviously, anyway. I had them as a playoff side, but they genuinely looked quite good. Everybody's going to look at the Man United thing and think, God, I crap a Man U to lose to Grimsby. But you've got to equally give the credit where it's due. Grimsby look good, man. I think they were an half decent side. I'll put them as a top 3 now. Whereas Crawley are the team that I will have dropping out. I'm going to plummet them down to mid-table, somewhere in and around this sort of realm. Bristol Rovers I will keep in there despite quite a poor start. I would drop Cambridge into playoffs, and I would still keep Chesterfield and MK Dons as the autos, and MK Dons my title winners. So no change to relegation, only one change to the actual top 7 that I had previously, and that is swapping Swindon for Crawley. But I'm keeping Walsall and Bristol Rovers in playoffs. I'm dropping Cambridge down from an auto to a playoff team, and I'm promoting Grimsby to a straight up automatic with Chesterfield second and MK Dons top. League 2 done. So just for argument's sake, this is the before and after and what I have changed in League 2 post transfer window. Moving on to League 1. Now there's actually not that many that I would change in here, I don't think. If we go straight to relegation side, there's only one team in this bottom four that I would take out, and that is it. I am moving Peterborough to last. Peterborough's transfer business is absolutely disgraceful. I have seen nothing that makes me think they will ever even win a game. Never mind finish third bottom or stay up, God forbid. I think Peterborough have handled this transfer business absolutely shockingly. They look awful in every area at pitch. I think they are crap. So Peterborough I've got last. Rotherham, again, a one that I'm not changing. I still think Rotherham get relegated. I got so many penalties for this before season started. Everybody is now sort of seeing what I'm on about. They are awful. Again, every area at pitch, these are just lackluster. The only half-decent player that they've got is Nombe and is injured. Your entire survival hopes seriously depend on if he can come back and hit ground running a little bit. Because if he stalls or stagnates a little bit when he comes back, they're going to League Two. Rotherham's transfer business, A, awful, B, manager's crap, and C, the mentality within that team and club just seems so god-awful. The fact that at least 3 of the newly promoted sides look miles better than him. So Rotherham I've still got going down, but in all honesty, I would still keep him 4th bottom. Exeter. Despite an half-decent start, but we're not getting into that, I have not changed my opinion on squad levels being better than theirs, and personnel, and just general play, tactics, the run at game generally, how good they actually look in terms of opposition that they're playing. And they've had a favourable start, which again I'm not going to take note of. I am not changing that either. I will put him 2nd bottom. There is nothing transfer window related that I have seen, apart from bringing a keeper in, which is really good business, that makes me think they've got a better squad than any teams above them. So Exeter I've still got going down. Which means the one that I've actually changed is the team that I had finishing dead last, which is Wimbledon, who I now think will stay up. I will put them in and around. Still a relegation battle, definitely, but I now think that they will stay up, Wimbledon. Very, very well-drilled side anyway. I think they've done extremely well to keep hold of Matty Stevens at top end of pitch. Defensively, we all knew before they even come up into this division what they were going to be about. And they look very solid in that, but I'm trying really hard not to think about actual performances so far and just focus purely on transfer business. The defence that they've kept looks good. They lost a lot of the midfielders, didn't they? That's what it were from a team that got promoted in first place. They lost a lot in middle at Park. Like, they have kept Stevens, which I think is good, and the defenders are still good. So I am going to now put Wimbledon as a survivor, which means one team has to drop into the bottom 4, and for me, unfortunately, boys, that is Northampton. I just think they look worse than last year, and they only survived last season by skin of their teeth, and 4 of the teams coming up, who I'm showing now in Wimbledon, Donny, Port Vale and Bradford, I think will all survive. So that is my reasoning. I think all 4 will stay up, which means that Rotherham, Northampton, Exeter and Peterborough are the 4 that I think will go down. Now, just to fiddle around with some of the bottom teams, I think Port Vale will stay up marginally, and then I'll probably go something along the lines of Burton into Wimbledon, probably into Donny. I think they've had a really good start at Donny, but I'm not convinced long-term by them. But again, they've kept Molyneux and McGrath, so they've done really good there. Stevenage, I will push up quite a bit, probably to this sort of range. And then looking at Bradford, we've started really fast, and again the business has been really good. The defenders that they brought Stephen Humphries in obviously at start of window, but the defence and some of the midfielders that they brought in are seriously top draw for this division. I don't think they'll get playoffs or be that close really, but I think they'll be top half. They have a bit of an outside chance, I will stand by, but I don't think they will get in. I would swap them and Wickham. So I think Wickham will be in this sort of no man's land with all these teams. I'm not changing any of these, really, apart from the Stevenage one who I've pushed up a little bit. Lincoln, I'm still keeping it same place, same as Wigan and Mansfield. I'm pushing Bradford up. Blackpool. You know what, I changed my mind. I'm going to put Blackpool there and pull Lincoln up there. So I'll drop Blackpool a couple of places. Reading, quite a mixed start, but I still think they'll be sort of mixed. You know what, I'm going to push Bradford up again. And then Plymouth and Leyton Orient, I still think we'll be outside. The top 6 for me, in terms of the teams that are going to be in there, has not changed. The order of said top 6 teams has definitely changed post-transfer window. Let's go 6 for upwards, shall we? 6th place, I'm going to put Stockport. I'm going to drag them down slightly, based on the strengthening of the other teams within this top 6. 5th bottom, I have got Bolton. Again, really good transfer window. I do think, though, again, other teams do look better post-transfer window than Bolton do. They've still got one of the best squads in this division, comfortably, like a, well, top 5 squad, I would say. But I just think others, A, haven't lost players, and B, have brought in a better standard than what Bolton have. I'm really impressed with Bolton's business, but I just think there are better sides. Cardiff, for me, are also 4th. Really, really, really good. It's got to be said. I think their transfer business has been outstanding. They saw Callum O'Dowda. I know this is a side that finished bottom at Championship, so they can't be that cracking. But they saw Callum O'Dowda, and that's it. They've kept Salech, they've kept Robertson, they've kept Robinson, both Colwills. Obviously, Chambers is still there. They kept Ashford as well. Like, the kids that they've brought through, the academy is really good anyway, ain't it, Cardiff? They are taking half of the country's younguns, so you would sort of like expect it to be half decent. But the fact that they've kept everybody of importance to them, apart from Callum O'Dowda, their incomings aren't exactly lightning. But I think the fact that they've not let players go, Cardiff have had a really good window. I had them 6th before. I can't remember if I had them outside, but I had them 6th. I'm going to push them up a little bit just based on the transfer business that they have done. And I've got one more change in regards to Luton, Huddersfield and Barnsley. Yep. Huddersfield's business, come on, man. We all know. Outstanding. Fabulous. Really good side. Really good incomings. Little to no important outgoings. Obviously, they sold Sorba Thomas and some Brody Spencer. But in terms of the incomings, they've done extremely well. I just think, in terms of squad level, post-transfer window, Barnsley have got better players than what Huddersfield have. Lock me up, throw away the key, baby. I do not care. The fact that we have kept Connell, Phillips, and Davis Keeler-Dunn, I am astounded. I think going forward, we probably look like the best team in division now, which I would not have said at the start, or I wouldn't have thought I'd have been saying it in September. I thought we'd have sold at least two of them. I thought we'd have been in a great state. But post-transfer window, I think Barnsley in certain areas do look better than Huddersfield do. So I would swap them around, meaning I've got Barnsley as an automatic contender now. But Luton don't change for me. Luton are still my title winner. Their incomings are genuinely ridiculous. I think they've got good fees for some of the players that they have sold. I think McGuinness is a bit of a loss, but the depth that they've got at centre half is fine anyway, and they've got good money for him. And then the money that they got for Chong, who again is someone that I do not rate that highly. I think the incomings, the amount of money that they have generated, is really good, and I'm still sat here thinking that they've got best team in division. So it's hard to look past changing Luton. I still think they're my title winner. But as for the whole thing, going down, I've only changed one thing. I've got Peterborough, Exeter and Rotherham still going down, but Northampton going with them. I've pushed Bradford up quite a bit. I've kept Wimbledon surviving now. None of the top 6 has changed in terms of teams coming in and out, but I've now changed Stockport, Bolton, Cardiff and Huddersfield to be the playoff sides, and Barnsley into second with Luton winning the league. Let's get out of here before people start making mean comments. Just quickly, we will show the before and after. Again, same as League 2. You can have a little pause if you want to actually have a long, in-depth look at it, but that's that. You ready? Right. Time for the big dog, the Championship. What would I change post-transfer window? Not Sheffield Wednesday. They are still getting relegated last comfortably. However, we have got to change to the bottom 3. I made quite a bold claim surrounding Watford and the fact that I think they will get relegated. Hull, I think a lot of people had going down anyway, but I'm going to make a change to my bottom 3. And that is, I'm going to put Blackburn in there. I think we'll finish 3rd bottom, or effectively bottom at league, because Wednesday doesn't exist. Blackburn's transfer business, absolutely god-awful. Anybody with any sort of experience in this division has gone. They're bringing in a lot of unknown, and I think that is quite the gamble with such a very strong league that the Championship is now. I think they might have shot themselves in foot and face and chest and every area possible. Blackburn, I think, have almost committed football suicide. They look in really poor nick, these boys do. And the team that I will take out, obviously making quite a bold claim on Watford at start, the team that I will take out is Hull. I still think that Watford will get a bit giddy, probably sack the manager, and seriously, I'll look at other teams. Watford have started alright, by the way, and I don't want to take that into account. Let me say that again, I don't want to take that into account. I like some of the incomings at top end of pitch, but looking at the actual teams themselves, I think it is just the unknown with Watford, and I still do not know enough about the players to make a valid opinion, so I can't really change my opinion based on the fact that they're bringing in lads that have no idea who they are. Some of the ones that Hull have brought in, McBurney, for example, I think is outstanding. Keeping Charlie Hughes, I think that is enough. Despite having a transfer embargo, I think they've navigated that really well. I think Hull's team looks better than Watford's, just based on what I know about said teams. Is it quite bone idle? Probably, but I don't have the mental capacity to go and research players that have been playing in Slovakia and wherever the hell Watford's lads have been playing. You could say the same about Hull, but I know more about some of the players that Hull have brought in as opposed to Watford's. And both of these owners are nutcases, but I think Watford are more likely to sack the manager if they're in bottom 8 at Christmas, and I just think they could really hurt themselves by doing so. So I can't change based on that. Watford I've still got going down, but Blackburn I've got going with them, and Wednesday are embarrassing. As for the rest of these sort of teams, Stoke have started very well. If I'm being really sort of picky, I would probably do something like this. Somewhat along them lines. Maybe I'd put Stoke slightly high, but probably not. I think I'd just keep that as it is at the minute. And again, after trying to take my own bias out of it and the stubbornness that I can sometimes hold, I do think I'm actually all right normally. Like, I'm stubborn with Barnes a bit. Other teams, I can admit when I'm wrong. And I've definitely been wrong in regards to Middlesbrough. I'm going to put them up. Portsmouth, though, I'm also going to put up. I think they look very tidy to the point where I would have them, like, probably top half with ease. I think going forward they look lightning now that they've brought Chaplin in. They've kept Bishop as well and Murphy. They look really good going forward. We know about how good they are at home anyway. Portsmouth, I think, will have a good year, me. Another side that I would put in and around it is Middlesbrough. I got it wrong. Hands up in the air. Like, you just don't care. I would still have them just missing out, but not as embarrassingly low as like 15th or whatever it was. I had them before. But yeah, I would have Middlesbrough and Portsmouth higher up. These three are still fine. Swansea I would drop to be in this sort of category, and I'd probably do something like that again if I'm being really picky. Wrexham I'm going to drop to here. So 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So Wrexham I've got 13th. This is 12th. Bristol City, they're the... Obviously, they're the side that I've got smack in the middle. Wrexham's transfer window has been absolutely outstanding. I just think the simplicity of what Parkinson is and trying to handle that level of ego in a squad of 55 people is going to prove quite difficult. So, again, could see a manager sacking in the middle of this. And long term, I think Wrexham just will inevitably go up at some point with the money that they're spending. But for right now, I would have them 13th, just missing out on top half, which I think would be a massive failure, by the way, just in terms of like the squad level that they've now got. As for the rest of the teams in here, Portsmouth, Norwich, Middlesbrough, that's all fine. I am now struggling. Well, let me just make one thing quite clear. Sheffield United will finish probably, yeah, I think 11th. All right, yeah, 11th will do. Let's make one thing clear. Leicester or West Brom, one of them is going in. And I just can't really decide which one. I think there is a bit of a cut there in between Leicester and Middlesbrough. Just stop it there. I think there's a little bit of a cut in between Leicester and Middlesbrough in terms of my true, honest expectations of them both. Millwall, I'm still having it playoffs. I don't give a monkeys, despite the hot and cold start. I'm having them 6th. I do not care. But in terms of West Brom or Leicester, I'm going to put West Brom in 5th. And I'll keep Leicester in 7th. That is what I'm going to do, I think, in regards to teams that could get in top 6. I'm not changing any of these 4 in terms of top 6ers. I'm going to change one and put them into top 2 instead of one of those that are in there now. And that team is Birmingham, that I will drop to 3rd place because I'm going to put Coventry in the automatics now. I think the incomings that they've made have just strengthened an already outrageously good squad. They've kept Rodoni, which is massive. They've kept like Van Ewijk, that right back, Hadji Wright as well, stood up front. I do think they're going to do another striker. That is the only thing that I would nitpick about Coventry. But I do like the transfer business, and they've got a really good team anyway. So yeah, they're really good. I think Birmingham, through no fault of their own, really. I'm still putting you 3rd after coming up from League One. But I think Coventry just do look better squad-wise and personnel now. If I'm being really, really harsh, I think there is a smidge, a microscopical smidge of difference between Coventry and Birmingham, which makes me think that Coventry will get in there instead. But in terms of actual squad levels, I do think these 3 are the best teams in league. Ipswich, poor start, could not care less. I think their incomings, for the most part, are good. It's the outgoings that have upset me, I'm not going to lie, but that has still not changed my opinion on that. I think they've got best team in league and best manager. So I still expect Ipswich to win league, Coventry 2nd, and a playoffs of Birmingham, Southampton. I'm putting West Brom in there and Millwall, with a newly relegated side in Blackburn instead of Hull to join Watford, who I'm not changing, and Wednesday, oh shit. Now, one last look at the before and after for Championship. If anybody wants to pause it, screenshot, and call me a fat wanker on Twitter, then this is your chance to do so. But other than that, absolute pleasure. Love you all. Kiss. Make sure you like and subscribe if you do enjoy. These are my updated EFL predictions post-transfer window. Oh man, some Hall of Fame stinkers already. Right, love you all, and I'll see you in a bit. Goodbye.
I say I'm a man, yes, I'm a mucker. I think of me saying as a right good looker. I say up that. Show us bit it.